So I'm beginning the babka, and I've learned after lots of doing this, read the recipe, because I need to take out 4 large eggs so they can get to room temperature, and 10 tablespoons of butter so it can get to room temperature. The kitchen is so bright today. I'm starting the babka. I might finish it tonight, might finish it tomorrow, depends on how much energy I have after it rises for 6 hours. It's almost 3, so that would mean I'm starting the second half of it at 9. That already sounds like a bad idea, but let's get started. I have half a cup of milk. The recipe calls for whole milk, but I only have 2%, so that's gonna have to do. I'm gonna warm it for about 45 seconds to get it ready for the yeast and sugar. The milk's a little hot. If the milk is too hot, hotter than about 110, 115, it could damage the yeast when it goes in, so I'm just gonna wait a few. Okay, ready. I measured out 7 grams of yeast. Just chuck it in. And it calls for a pinch of sugar, so I'm literally gonna grab a pinch of sugar. It doesn't say to mix it in, but I'm gonna give it a quick whisk. And then, oh my gosh, Odie's playing with his toy. Do you have to do that right now, sweetheart? This is gonna sit for 10 minutes until frothy. The yeast mixture has some froth. It's gonna rise for 6 hours, so I don't think I need it to be like insanely frothy right away. Now I'm combining the other aspects of the dough. 1/3 cup sugar. It's 4 1/4 cup flour. This is gonna make 2 loaves. Start the fight for who wants the second loaf. 1½ teaspoons salt. This is a Pampered Chef teaspoon. It's pretty cool. I should note that the recipe calls for fine sea salt, and I'm using table salt, and I don't care. And a teaspoon of vanilla extract. It's weird to put the vanilla with dry ingredients, in my opinion, but I'm doing it. In some ways I'm listening to the recipe, in other ways I'm not. The recipe calls for 2 more ingredients to be added at this point. Lemon zest and nutmeg. I don't put nutmeg in anything because it's a garbage spice. And I don't put lemon or orange zest in bakes like this because I just personally think it overpowers the flavor. I'm just mixing everything together real quick. The dry part of the mix is done, so we're gonna take it over to the stand mixer. We've got a dough hook on here. Go in. Oh, come on. There we go. I'm gonna start this on low. I'm adding the yeast slowly. Yeast, milk, and pinch of sugar mixture. Then I gotta add the 4 eggs. All 4 eggs are in. I'm gonna whack it up just a tiny bit until I don't really see dry flour anymore. Then we're gonna add in the butter. The dough has come together. Pop this back on and add the butter 1 tablespoon at a time. So I've already divided it out. Plop. Probably throw like 2 tablespoons in to start. Starting to incorporate. All the butter is in. I'm supposed to continue to beat it until it is smooth and stretchy. 5 to 7 minutes. It's already looking a little stretchy, but not quite smooth yet. As it's mixing, it is sticking to the bowl quite a bit, so I believe it needs just a smidge more flour. So I am adding it. Just gonna add it in very small quantities until it stops sticking. It's looking pretty good. It's stretchy, but I wouldn't call it smooth. It doesn't seem like the gluten's really developed. I don't want to overwork it. Give it like 3 more minutes, see if it improves. I think it looks smoother. This gives me so much anxiety. I think I'm going in the right direction. Oh yeah. This looks good. Oh yeah. Look at that stretch. Alright, I'm popping this in a buttered bowl. To rise. When it comes out like really easy, it's also a sign that it's done. Like kind of folds together. Nice. So this is gonna rise for 1 to 2 hours. I'm gonna cover it with a towel. It said to place it in a draft-free space like an oven. This is what it looks like now. I just put it on for 2 minutes. Let's try that again. Oh my gosh, now I put the clock on. I successfully set the timer for 2 hours. It's been 2 hours. Here's what the dough looks like. Pretty much the same. I see a little bit of a rise in it, but not that much. I double checked the recipe, and after this 2-hour rise, can go in the fridge for 4 hours, but it's like highly recommended in the recipe that you do it overnight. So that's what I'm gonna do. It says the flavors of the dough will develop better. And actually, I do not have enough time, I don't think, to do the second shaping and everything that has to be done and then bake it, because I'm just going from like 9:30 to 2:45 tomorrow, so I'm gonna do it from 2:45 to like 5, and then I have a shoot, and then I think I'm gonna bake it at night tomorrow. So it'll be yummy. I'm sorry you have to wait. I'm sorry. I have life and work. Here's the dough. I just took it out of the fridge. It doesn't, to me, look like it rose much, but it's very hard because the butter hardens from the cold. So I can't imagine it would be able to rise that much. You can tell from here that it definitely pulled away from this piece that I had on the top. So it rose a bit. I have to divide this in half to make the 2 loaves. I got the dough out. This is what the underside looks like, which is good. You can see that it rose. There's some air bubbles. I buttered and parchment papered 2 pans, which I had to go on an adventure to find when they were really just in the kitchen, and I went to the attic. No ghosts, so, you know, that's good. So I'm gonna divide this into two and then roll it each half into a 9x17 rectangle. Got it divided. I even used my kitchen scale to measure. They're both 1 pound and 3.8 ounces. I'm gonna roll this out. It's all rolled out. I didn't measure, but I'm guessing this is about 9x17. This recipe has an option for filling, but it also has an option for Nutella hazelnut spread, or, you know, your favorite knockoff brand hazelnut spread. So I'm literally just going to spread this on here and then roll it up. Nutella is spread on. I'm going to roll it up into a coil and then freeze it for 10 minutes. And do the same with this one. Okay, it's all rolled up. You can see a little bit of a swirl. I put it on this to lift it up and transfer it to the freezer. Okay, this part's a lot of fun. I'm gonna cut one in half all the way down to expose the filling and then like braid it together. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna twist it together. Here's one twisted, here's another one cut. I'm gonna twist it. I'm doing this so fast because I have no time and need to leave like 5 minutes ago. I braided the second one and turned this one like into a horseshoe shape, and then this is gonna go into the pan, and I'm gonna do the same. Okay, these look amazing. I'm really stoked. I'm gonna cover them. They're supposed to rise for 1 to 1.5 hours. I'm probably not gonna be back for like 2.5 hours, so hopefully they rise really nicely.
Top piece fell off.
Fell off into your mouth? Okay, my review of this is damn.